In the Limbourg Brothers calendar, the August lunette shows the astrological signs of the month: Leo and Virgo. As in other sheets of the calendar, the asymmetrical representation of the two signs, and the different intensity of the coloring of the relative sky, refer to their respective entry and exit from the reference month. The lack of the original entries does not allow us to fully appreciate the calendar sheet, unlike other months. The innermost starry portion is occupied as always by the chariot of the sun, here stationary in the summer sky. The scene is marked by antitheses: nobles in the foreground, and peasants in the background. The left and right banks of the river. Work and fun. Fatigue and idleness. The two vital energies are articulated in a complementary manner. Their sum gives rise to universal order and prosperity, albeit with different benefits. In the medieval idea, everything has to be in balance, with each person called upon to perform his or her proper occupation and role. In the foreground, ladies and knights engage in the activity of falconry, the characteristic hunting with falcons or other birds of prey. The procession unfolds with extreme elegance, with the horses placed rhythmically on different levels. The extremely well-groomed and sophisticated clothing testifies that the nobles did not intend to sacrifice elegance to comfort, despite the summer heat. The robes are made of precious-colored fabrics, of pink, of blue, from the most intense shade to glaucous, and of grey. The hats, the only concession against the scorching sun, with their singular shapes give a fanciful note to their attire. Much attention is paid to gestural codes with a courteous taste. The first lady on the right holds on fearful to her knight, while the couple closing the procession are distracted by conversation. The lady riding alone on a white steed, finely harnessed in blue and gold, sits on a precious red cloth covering the saddle. The colors are those reserved for members of the French royal family, so much so that the lady is often identified with Bonne of Armagnac, daughter of Charles VII, wife of Charles d'Orléans. It is the same figure who, in the amorous atmosphere of April, celebrated her engagement. Just as the hawk or birds of prey in the hands of the nobles are a symbol of power and wealth, the ears of corn that the peasants grasp become a symbol of abundance and prosperity. The peasants of the fiefdom of the Duke of Berry, against the bright yellow background of a cereal field, are busy in the activity of threshing, arranging the sheaves to be harvested as they go by the horse-drawn cart. In the center of the composition, an episode appears, animating the scene. Some peasants can be seen, stripped of their tunics to combat the excessive heat. Some plunge into the waters of the river for a refreshing bath. In this oxymoron, peasants are not in a free state of leisure, like gentlemen. They are simply looking for a remedy to the heat, so that they can continue their hard work in the sun, cooler and less fatigued. It is therefore work-related fun. In the background, the great castle of Étampes, with the majesty of its towers and walls, a true symbol of the patron's power, dominates the surrounding countryside. The Duke of Berry had bought it, with the entire village, in 1400, and it immediately became one of his favorite places to stay. Its importance is evidenced by the towers, which come to encroach on the section intended for the sun chariot. Considering the image from the point of view of alchemical symbolism, a conceptual element present in the mentality and culture of the time, we can see that the sign of the lion corresponds to sulfur, while the young woman in the sign of Virgo refers to Mercury. The sun is a symbol of alchemical gold, like the golden sheaves of wheat on either side of the image. Alchemical gold, produced from the philosopher's stone, was one of the aims of the great work, with the intention of purifying, transforming and perfecting matter. The concept of refinement is also expressed by the fact that on opposite sides appear a mound of rough stone, set against a golden mound of wheat. The two appear almost consequentially, with a before and after, next to the castle. The latter refers to the Athena, the alchemical furnace in which the transmutation of matter took place. The chariot carried by winged horses alludes to a volatile element, Mercury, or even ether, the so-called quintessence. The idea of transformation is also underlined by the concept of bathing by farmers. The bath was in fact alchemically the symbol of the dissolution of gold and silver, of the purification of these two metals. The peasants working the land are symbolic of the alchemist working the raw material to produce gold. Their scythes are a symbol of fire. Hawks are symbols of the volatile elements, horses of the fixed ones. The male and female dogs are symbols of the fixed and the volatile element, as are the two beasts paired and yoked to the chariot full of ears of corn. The colors of the courtiers' robes recall the black, white and red of the alchemical phases of nigredo, albedo and rubedo. The blue, red and white of the three main elements of the great work, that is, mercury, sulfur and salt. The message hidden in this symbolism is the exaltation of the lord of the castle, capable of transforming the lives of his subjects and his lands, elevating and perfecting their condition through his enlightened and benevolent lordship.